protection product. As you know, onion extract, it's registered like a basic substance in the Europe. So one idea is to open the possibility to increase the application of this basic substance. Of course, like you know, in this kind of product, it's very important to focus the attention after the stabilization of the product to thinking an escalation, upscale of production. We need a lot of raw material for increase the production, and we need a very important part, it's the quality control of the product. So normally we find some molecule of onion extract that we try to find in all process of the production and after in the application in the soil, for understanding that the active compound stay in each part, in each step of the process. So I think I finish. Thank you very much.
Next up then is Robin for Globachem.
I will wait for a second on the presentation and then I will start. Okay, so as I only have a few minutes, I would like to take you to the journey of how BIOVEXO and Globachem collaborated and came up with the development of developing a new innovative product called Sankari. Maybe a first question as well is, why are there sunflowers on this picture while we are in an olive growing orchard? This is related to the product we are developing, which is focusing on circular economy, using waste streams and trying to select compounds which are present in nature and try to develop them as a product. And I will highlight them as well, why the sunflowers are over here. So in the next slide, I would like to give a short introduction to the company as well. Working at Globachem, we are still a fully family-owned business. We have our headquarters in Belgium, but at the moment we have offices scattered throughout the world. We have an office in Brazil, we have one in China, and we have one in UK as well. What do we try to do? We are founded in 2000, so this means that at the moment we have a 25th year old anniversary, and we are developing crop protection products to satisfy the needs of the growers and to support them with new innovative products. Okay. We have as well always one key message within Globachem. We try to do the following: biological if possible, chemistry if necessary. Because we almost can trace everything back to chemistry. Everything is consistent of molecules, is traced back to molecules. The fact is just whether are they toxic, how toxic are they, and can we apply them as a crop protection product. So we try to take this message everywhere, and with this message as well, we try to support the growers with biological solutions, bioprotection, but in the end, we always want to secure as well for the grower in the end that they still have a last solution, which can be chemical solution to really be sure that we can prevent and protect their yield. Now, how did we collaborate with the BIOVEXO and Globachem? In the past, we already had a development. We were focusing on a product called Sankari, and with the project, we were able to work on the support of the product development in olives to control the Xylella as well, but contribute to be sure that we can launch a product which is considered safe for beneficial insects, but as well for honeybees. What was as well happening in BIOVEXO, we have a network of experts over here. These experts supported us with the development, with bringing it into contact and doing these field trials for the product, which in the end is as well a very valuable network for future problems, for future solutions, which is now established as well. I will give you a short update to what have we developed, what has been developed as well, Sankari, which is the brand name of our product, and as well on what our purpose is and which we can offer to the growers in the future as well. So we have Sankari, which is considered of nonanoic acid. It's an EC formulation. Okay, we call it over here nonanoic acid other known this as background as well as pelargonic acid. That is the background of the product, but we prefer using the term nonanoic acid, and we have developed this really with the use of an insecticide. What are we doing on this? We are investing heavily as Globachem being on the molecule. We have seen that there is a high value on the product, that we can use it as an insecticide. We are doing as well IP and patent protection and focusing on a regulatory framework and trying to register the product across all countries. Coming back, why is this product considered a biocontrol solution? It is because it is traced back and found within sunflowers and oilseed rape. It's coming back from the C18 oleic acid, which is highly present in some sunflower varieties, and we split this into two chains, and one of the chain you get is this nonanoic acid, which we then formulate into our formulation, showcasing potential and high potential effects as an insecticide. What are we doing as well? We see as well we are focusing on registrations. With the support of BIOVEXO and the collaboration, we were able to develop a bioinsecticide, a biocontrol. At the moment, we are as well focusing on other crops. Unfortunately, you can see Italy in the list, but we do not have registration yet over there. This will come somewhere in 2026, and we are as well focusing to offer a solution to the growers. We know as well that this will not be a one fixed solution for all, but will be part of an integrated pest management system, which we want to support as Globachem. Just a take-home message as well, with the collaboration of BIOVEXO, we were able to offer a new solution to the olive growers. We were able to offer a new mode of action as well to the growers, and the key message is as well, this is safe for bees, safe for beneficial insects, and will secure a sustainable agriculture in the future. Okay, so this is in a nutshell the collaboration with BIOVEXO, where we are very grateful for.
Okay, and next up then, Gregor for ASIAS.
Okay, so hello from my side as well, Gregor Kostec, R&D Director at ACS Bio. So I'm feeling that many of you are wondering when will the PSJN, formulated PSJN product, become available for the growers. I'll describe briefly our role in the project and when this might really be happening. Yeah. So it all started with a conversation between AIT, Austrian Institute of Technology, and ACS Bios, our company, really a company really focused on innovation and R&D in microbial biotechnology. So AIT had a really interesting microbial strain, the PSJN, and ACS Bio has the expertise to develop and scale up such interesting scientific ideas into real products. And we joined the BIOVEXO consortium. And the tasks in BIOVEXO for us were, of course, first to develop an efficient production process for the bacterium, and then to develop a prototype product, which actually enabled our partners then to apply this bacterium in the field trials that you saw in the morning and early afternoon sessions. And of course, what were the outcomes? You've already heard they were really promising, and actually really new for us as well. Yeah, so the data is really being, has really been compiled very recently. So scientifically, it seems that PSJN is able to affect the Xylella infected olive trees and also almonds. And of course, the effect is even bigger in the context of integrated pest management. And of course, what this means for us as a company, that even such non-standard microbes, which is not a bacillus, which you have many of them on the market, that even such non-standard microbes can be efficient in biological control of plant diseases. And of course, that it is really important, that our expertise is really important to bring this potential actually first to the trials and then to the growers. So how does it all look from the business perspective? Yeah, we know that of course the Xylella is not the only bacterium affecting the woody perennial crops. Yeah? So there are many other bacterial diseases which have negative effects. So you've heard probably of citrus greening. So there are really many such diseases, and many of them are really big unmet needs in agriculture. So how did it then continue? Yeah, the BIOVEXO, of course, did a big, a very big job in showing that this PHN bacterium, it can be effective in fortifying, of course, olive trees in case of Xylella infection. And actually, through transcriptomic studies, a strong biostimulatory effect was also shown. But in parallel to BIOVEXO, so ACS Bio and LIT made an additional investment, so additional trials on different plant diseases to expand the application spectrum. And that's really necessary, because if you have a wider application spectrum, you have a bigger market. With a bigger market come lower costs, and costs are really important for the growers at the point when they start using, or they make a decision to start using the product. And of course, one of these applications actually led to a patent application. So all the results that we have until now form a really nice package. Yeah, it's, from the business perspective, it's an asset that we now have to invest in further and bring to the market. And what does it still take? Yeah, so basically for us, a company really specialized on technology, we need a partner, a business partner in the agriculture field, who can then, help us navigate the next steps, which are, of course, on one side regulatory, on the other side, how to find the right markets, how to get to the market, how to distribute, and so on. Additional spectrum I already mentioned. It's really needed, and really to touch the the regulatory part. Yeah, so because the product, the bacterium, really has a strong biostimulatory effect. Yeah, it's also effective if you just spray it on healthy trees. Yeah, they will really start growing. Yeah, it will be visibly more vigorous. Yeah, but at the same time, they also help the plants where they're infected by diseases. It's really so. It's really a question whether it's best to take the biocontrol registration route or the biostimulant registration route. Each of them has advantages, disadvantages. A big difference is, of course, also the time that it takes to bring then the product to the market. And so where are we going? So I mentioned already, in parallel to BIOVEXO, we've already invested into further spectrum expansion. We've established additional collaborations with several academic partners to address different bacterial diseases, and we are of course open for new such collaborations. We have also presented the results, not the BIOVEXO ones, which are really new, but our results from other applications, to different ag companies. Several showed interest, but we are still aiming to engage with additional companies to really see the best fit for this partnership. And we are investing in a new bioreactor. So we have currently up to 10,000 liter fermenters. We will be from the next year having the 30 cubic meter fermenters. And all this with the idea to become a really big European hub for fermentative production of such agricultural microbials. Having this production in Europe, in the centrally located, so in Slovenia, will enable us to really bring such non-standard microbes to the growers for different diseases. So we are really looking forward to that. And of course, we realize we'll still have to invest into R&D, do further trials, for example, establish the dose rate, the number of applications. There's a lot of work still waiting for us. Hopefully, we'll continue to collaborate with the BIOVEXO partners. And hopefully we'll bring the product to the market in the next, I would say, 2 to 5 years.
Okay, thank you very much. So now we go a little bit closer to, let's say, reality, or a potential future reality once a few hurdles are jumped over. Not in a literal sense, not like I'm jumping, but it is a process. I'd like to maybe just start with Robin, because you talked about, biological where possible, chemical when necessary. And I just wonder, is it somehow easier to get access to market with a biological biopesticide type product when actually there is no chemical alternative in the sense of, you know, synthetic pesticide, let's say, or insecticide, when that alternative is not available? Is it easier to get to market with a biopesticide?
I think it would drive more the implementation of these biosolutions. But what is in the end the most important one is that the grower needs a solution. At the moment, we are as well seeing biosolutions entering the market, which do not meet the requirements or the standards, the reference products, the chemical solutions are at the moment offering for the growers. Which means that if the biosolutions do not meet these expectations, or if they come close, okay, then it's as well fine. Then I'm sure that restricting the chemical solutions can support a bigger implementation of the biosolutions. But in the end, there is still another bullet point, topic which is important, which Gregor as well addressed. At the moment, you have quite some chemical solutions in the market, which are over there at a very cheap cost. This cheap cost is necessary as well for the growers to produce and to have a profitable yield in the end, which means that there is as well the standard, not only in terms of efficacy and performance, but as well in terms of costs. And you need to meet one of the requirements to be sure that you can enter and be implemented into the market.
And Andrea, what would be your comment on, you know, restricting potentially, you know, synthetic pesticides or insecticides to somehow support the market for biopesticides? Would that be a good idea?
Okay. I think our farmer, our market need a natural solution, okay? Because the farmers know the potential of this kind of product, but the main problem is regulatory system for me, because as you understand, we are a company that we know, we true in our product, but when we arrive to last step, we need time, we need money, and we don't know the final result, because we don't know if finally the EFSA help us to this process. So I think the market need this kind of product, but for us it's very complicated, and the farmer want finally they want that the product work, okay? So will be very interesting if something from EFSA help us in this process.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the kind of mission of EFSA is necessarily to help you, but maybe I can ask the question in a slightly different way to Gregor. Is there anything in the labyrinthic process that is the authorization? And in fact, you made an interesting little slip because you wanted to say regulation and you kind of said labyrinth. That was a nice one. But in that process, is there anything that you think makes your product better?
Well, I think in the regulatory labyrinth, yeah, of course, the safety is one of the key. You know, safety and risk is one of the key aspects that the agencies have to take into account. And of course, you know, we've known for a long time that it's no longer true that, you know, everything that is natural is safe and everything that is maybe synthetic is not. Yeah, of course, there are some very nasty things in nature as well. But I think that microbes, you know, especially microbes which are isolated from the plants or from the fields, can be considered in a way safe, because, you know, if they were really pathogenic, we would have seen the diseases by now. Yeah? So there is some, I would say, some inherent, you know, we could give them some sort of benefit. Yeah, that if they haven't caused any disease so far, yeah, they are probably safe. But of course, you know, everything has to be compared in a way. Yeah, we wouldn't want to use microbes which are at the end worse than, you know, the chemical products that are on the market today.
So could we argue that the regulatory process, although it's a bit long, does somehow give, in the end, if the product is authorized, credit to the product's safety?
Yeah, of course, but I think, I don't think there is anyone who would say, no, it's not necessary, let's just put PHA and start producing it tomorrow and let's see what happens. What I think people often suggest, yeah, that if we look around the world, yeah, in Brazil, the US, these regulatory pathways are usually clearer and shorter than they are in Europe, and that Europe, if it wants to be at the forefront of innovation in the microbial development for agriculture, should try to adapt and balance a little bit, of course, the risk and in a way help to the companies to bring innovation to the market.
Okay, understood. And so there's one side which is the tango with the regulatory authorities and the control from the regulatory authorities on products. The other thing is actually using the product in the field. Question is, are farmers, growers sufficiently trained to then use these kinds of tools and products that enter their toolbox, so that also in the use phase the product is managed responsibly in relation to some of its potential harms? Robin, please.
I think this is a mission from the industries. As in the past, it was a little bit more clear on, okay, you would apply a chemical product, it would work all the time, or if there is no resistance developing and so on. But for these biocontrol solutions, you need to educate the growers, you need to involve them as well into these developments. You see as well, as you explained, Andrea, that there is a big need from the growers for biosolutions, so they are requesting as well new solutions. And I think this is just a common task, combining the knowledge of the growers, since they have more knowledge than we as industries have ourselves. And then we educate them, we share our experience, and then we can find a good way to apply and to position the product as well. I think it's more labor intensive than introducing other conventional solutions. But I think this is the way forward. That is with more involvement of the growers and educating them to be sure that the product is applied on the right way.
Mm-hmm. And can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on this kind of market demand, right? I mean, what is driving this demand from growers to have more access to these kind of biological solutions?
I think the new farmers know perfectly microbiology, the action of the bacteria, the necessity to give to the soil new bacteria. Before, when I studied many years ago in this institute, I remember my teacher then explained me, now don't focus in the production, focus in production, of course, because it's important, but to the environmental, it's important to maintain the biology of the soil, to don't contaminate so much with the chemicals. So I think the new generation of farmers have this knowledge, but finally the economy, it's important too. So we assist to different scenarios. For example, if the price of the olive oil is good, the farmers are more interesting to understand, to use natural product. But sorry if I come back to the regulatory, but it's important to have a good product and register the product, because imagine that we have a few categories in Europe. You can find a phytosanitary product, but aren't natural, or you have spent a lot of money, for example, 1 million euro, for registered in this category. So for medium-sized company like Domka, 1 million euro, it's a very high cost. But for other company, like big chemical company, it's no problem. So we have to, I think it's important that the farmer can choose the product. Okay? Thank you.
I get it. And then, so the farmer chooses the product. But when he chooses a product, I mean, he also wants to make sure that that product performs according to a set of criteria. And I would imagine that in this area of biopesticides, what you might find is a product might be interacting a lot more with its environment, or it might have slightly different performances depending on its environment, maybe compared to you know, chemicals that are maybe a bit more controlled in a way, or they have a more sort of let's say controlled causal effect. Okay, so I would imagine a company in the chemical side can make a claim, and that claim will pretty much work all the time in the same way. Here it's probably a little bit different. So I mean, do you see a risk as companies that you're going out with products where you want to make a claim, but you might not actually be able to make the same claim as to what you see in a lab compared to what you see in a trial field compared to what you see when you start going much more large scale? Is that a risk that you see for the business?
So clearly, the you know, microbes are living organisms. You know, living organisms are affected by temperature, by humidity, by different natural you know, parameters much more than the chemicals. And this is why it's really necessary to make comprehensive field trials in different locations, you know, in different years, so that you know, all these variabilities are taken into account. And this is why BIOVEXO is such a valuable consortium and you know, has been such a valuable project. But this doesn't mean, yeah, that you know, you cannot make any claims. Yeah, clearly there might be a little bit more variability, but with the experience, you of course get more knowledge and can be quite confident to give to the farmer the right advice. What is important, and again, you know, coming back to ACS Bio's role, is that these products are developed and produced in a high quality way, so that then the product is reliable, that the ingredients are what they should be, are not so contaminants and so on, and that the production is then done also in a you know, quality controlled way. This hasn't always been the case, and I think that you know, we see our role in making that, you know, a standard. Yeah.
So I want to come back to that, but I would like to hear the two others as well on this kind of the reputational aspect of making claims and, you know, with this kind of product.
Yeah, I would first like to jump in as well on the previous topic from Andrea, talking about the regulatory framework. I fully understand your need for more speed to entry to market, but I have a concern as well on this. If you let's say, lower the requirements, you will see that the market will get flooded with a lot of new products. In the past, this as well happened for biostimulants. You had a lot of snake oils, and now you see as well some kind of resistance from growers to implement these biosolutions into their IPM program. And I have a concern if we raise the standard, if we lower the standards again, that this could happen in the future as well. I think there is a need for biosolutions, yes, but these need to be qualitative biosolutions which can offer a consistent effect to the grower as well. And this consistency is key to be sure that it's implemented every year, and not only, okay, the olive oil grower gets a good price for olive oil this year, he will implement some biosolutions, then the year after the price goes down and then the biosolutions are kicked out. For me, that is not an IPM system, because it's fully depending on what the grower can get for his olive oil. And a program should need to be there every year, depending on pest pressure and situation, which happens throughout the year, of course. But it needs to be part of a program almost every year, and not only when the prices are at the profitable level.
And maybe on the claim.
Wait, could you repeat the question? Maybe?
So, do you see any kind of reputational risk on making claims on products that might not perform always in the same way?
Yeah, I think, okay, it surely depends on the region as well. If you would develop something in the United States and you would state these claims, you would have some court cases if it does not live up to the standards. In Europe, this is a little bit different, in my opinion. Claims need to be there. I think you need to have certain claims to show them that the products work, but it's a difficult situation as well. How to prove them? How will you defend them? How will the grower defend the claims? I think it's a difficult situation.
A comment on that one as well?
Yeah, I think it's important the communication, the information to the farmer. For example, in our company, we have a team of technical that working very close to the farmers for give the solution, because the claim, as we know, the claim this product is we use this product for this, but depend of the regulatory, because the regulatory system, sorry, I repeat again, but the claim, we cannot use whole claim we want, okay? So I know we don't produce microorganisms, but I know that the action of a microorganism, it's like a chemical product, are very special product. If we put in the very good in temperature, with the good temperature, with the good humidity, the final results with the biological product, it's the same with the natural product, it's the same with the chemical, okay? But we cannot use all claim. We use a claim according to the regulatory, okay? Because if not, we have a problem with the regulatory system. So we have to work for a better system, I think, like United States or like LATAM country.
So, and that's the interaction between the supposed performance of the product and the actual performance of the product, linked to the environment it's in. But then, as Gregor was saying, there's also the challenge of going from a solution to a large-scale available product. And in those steps, from the lab to the field, there is a scaling up, and you want to make sure that you're selling precisely what it is you were testing. And here, so do I understand right that there can be variations if you're not careful in terms of the manufacturing practices that you're implementing? So maybe can you just tell us a little bit some of the main challenges that you have there with this kind of product, living product, let's say?
So yeah, clearly there is, you know, when you cultivate microbes, one thing is to cultivate them in a small scale, you know, shake flask, and the other thing is, of course, to cultivate them industrially. You know, one key element of all agricultural solutions is, of course, you know, the cost and the price for the grower. Yeah, if there is no, you know, economic rationale to use it, you pay more to buy the product than you get in the increased yield of the crop, yeah, the growers will not use it, yeah, and so this is really the main challenge, yeah, to optimize the growth media in a way that it will be very economical, so, you know, very cheap, but still with all this, that you achieve high quality biomass, so high number and high quality microbial cells, which you can then package in a product and finally deliver to the growers. And actually, you know, many products and many efficacious products, you know, failed because this was not possible, or this has not been possible so far, and this is why this BIOVEXO, you know, our participation in the BIOVEXO was actually, you know, a very positive experience for us also, because we managed to do that in this case for the PSJN bacterium.
And so, are there already examples then of products that have, you know, achieved that very large scale manufacturing? And what would be, let's say, the best possible case study for such a product?
Yeah, so there are I mentioned here that there are, you know, several microbial products in the market, and you know, probably the Bacillus products, you know, like Bayer Serenade are the classical examples. There are Bacillus and Bacillus-like microorganisms are specific in a way that they produce very resistant spores. So basically, it's a form of the cell which nature intended, yeah, to be there to survive long periods of time. So when you have a big fermenter, you produce that biomass, yeah, you stimulate it to go into this spore form, and once you get that, it's much easier then to purify, to store, you know, so that even if the grower leaves it in the trunk of his car for some, you know, prolonged time, it will not die. It will still wake up when he actually applies it in the field. Yeah? So because of this ease of production, these bacillus-like products were the first ones, you know, that were, or one of the first ones, which were brought to the market. Yeah. But of course, microbial diversity is enormous all around us, in the soil, in the water, yeah, even our own microbiomes. There are so many microbes capable of doing so many interesting things which could be beneficial for us, for the plants, but cannot get to the, you know, level of the product because they are just tough to produce. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Do we have any questions for our panel? Okay, let's start over here because EFSA was mentioned a couple of times, so you get a primer.
Yes, I would like to confirm that we have a service to provide advice to small and medium size enterprises on the webpage of EFSA. Clearly, we're not substitute in developing what is required by the regulation, but can give advice how to produce a dossier, what to do. So there is a link for that, so I'm happy to provide. Then I have a general question to the three speakers. We saw excellent field results from this project. Do you intend to keep using this for your products? So now you finish your project BIOVEXO, but you just finished with very good field results. So would you continue to do field studies in the same olive orchard, or you depend completely on the European funding? And then my last question, apologies for the many, is to Gregor. Did you consider expanding the experimentation also to grapes? Because this is a product that was found even more effective in grapes in California, US. So now we have fierce disease in some cases in Europe. So maybe that's another area where this would be useful.
Okay, so immediate next steps from the project. Robin first.
No, we have been investing in the product since 2017. We are now into the market. We as well had a very good collaboration in the BioVexo project, and we will continue our developments or investments on this product as well for olives, because we see that it will be part, and it could be part of a nice IPM program for the growers. We are as well focusing now with emergency registrations in Spain and Italy, seeing if we can even come faster into the market just to support the needs of the growers. We have this product in Brazil, so we are investing and developing this product on a global level. Yes.
Andrea, immediate next steps following the project?
Of course, we continue with the investment, and in the last year we use our garlic and onion extract in other fields too. So we continue with the investment with the European projects, but as you know, we are a company, so we need to increase the sales year for year, and the idea is to grow. So we have to find the best market for our product, okay?
Perfect. And Gregor, next steps, but also then the question on grapes.
Yeah, so we are in a way in a particular situation because we are a technology company, we are a production company, so we need a partner to commercialize this product with. I think, you know, our main task now is to find a partner, and or even to find, you know, and I'm really glad that these results will be published soon. I'm counting here on behalf of Pasquale and Stefano. I think, you know, it will be a great paper. And with that, you know, there will be more people becoming aware of the potential of this product. And as soon as we have strong interest, we will definitely continue with the exploration of in the olive field, and you know, hopefully with, you know, with the partners that we already know, so Pasquale, Enza, and so on. definitely our desire is to continue. But as I say, we need a strong, like a suggestion from the market. Yeah, guys, you're on the right track. Go. Regarding grapevine, definitely it's a great question. So there is a paper out there from Stephen Lindau that the Xylella infection of the grapevine, so Pierce's disease, was nicely controlled by this PHAN. So we are in contact, I would say, even collaboration with Stephen Lindau's team, at UC Berkeley and also UC Davis. So this is one of the areas that we are exploring. But you are right. I mean, it seems that the PSJN and grapevine have some sort of love affair. They really like each other. So the grapevine really starts growing, even if not infected by anything. Yeah, you can see how it boosts the grapevine. So definitely there are other of course diseases of grapevine which we are actively investigating. Whether this boosting effect can also help the growers to control this kind of infections, or at least to manage their own cycles. Yeah, even if they eventually had to cut the vineyard, at least they can control this, do that in a more controlled way, and not that the whole vineyard is just destroyed in a couple of years.
Okay. Thank you, Pasquale.
No, a couple of questions. One is I've heard about market demand of biological products. This is probably a European situation, feelings. What about the rest of the world? So there is a similar market demand of biological products. And the other question, it was anticipated by Giuseppe and also Gregor, is could it be the possibility of, are you probably exploring the possibility to find a similar BIOVEXO project in California? Not only Stephen Lindo, but...
Okay, maybe on the California one first, quickly.
So well, we of course it's it's 9 hours away, and so it's a far away area. We definitely have to depend there even more than here, but here as well, on the partnerships with people who will become a part of that. Yeah, so we were speaking to several companies potentially interested in treating Pierce's disease. What they told us, several of those, is they are managing this disease in the recent years quite well with insecticides. So there are ongoing discussions. Yeah. So as I say, we need partners, really with a desire to move on towards the market. Yeah. And then if there is such a partner, we can really support them completely with the R&D and technology. So definitely, if there was an opportunity, if there was a Californian BIOVEXO, we would join it. Yeah.
Maybe Robin on market demand. Like, is it a European thing? Is it global?
I think, we see in Europe we have a lot of more regulatory restrictions compared to the rest of the world. This is just the case, and this is as well driving the need for other alternative solutions, which are preferable biosolutions. What we as well see is that this need is as well cost-driven. You see, if you go to Asian regions, the need for biosolutions is less over there because they still have older, cheaper chemistry available. But on the other hand, if you go to Brazil, almost 60 million hectares are treated with a biosolution. This can be a biostimulant, seed treatment for soybean, but the biofungicides are as well quite heavily developed over there. So you can see these faster tracks, these regulatory frameworks, which go faster in Brazil, cause better implementation of biosolutions into the market. But in Europe, the need and the urgency is higher because we have more restrictions on chemical solutions, but the regulatory pathway is as well longer. So you can see this is really region by region dependent in the United States as well. As Andrea mentioned, it's faster over there as well. You see that implementation of biosolutions is higher over there as well, but it is as well heavily cost-driven still at the moment.
You have something to add on that one, Andrea?
Just very, very shortly. We export our product in 28 countries. So in countries like Chile, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, China, Morocco, this kind of country, when, as you know, the agriculture system, it's very strong because export a lot of production. They want just that the products are safe, not residual, and working well. They don't want a eco product or biological product. They don't need this kind of a product because they want a solution of a problem. So in this kind of country, the most important is for a company like us, the presence on the market to understand the necessity of the farmers, and of course have a good partner, control everything, but the important is working in contact with the market, with the customer, with the farmer.
Okay. Oh, yeah, you want?
I wanted to make another comment, yeah, comparing Europe to the rest of the world, yeah. So we spoke with several Brazilian partners, and they say that the main driver there is really the emerging pest resistance to the chemicals they have, yeah. So, and while in Europe maybe substances are banned, there they are banned by the nature itself, yeah. And this is really important for us, yeah, because maybe some people in Europe think that okay, we'll just vote out, if it becomes too complicated, yeah. We'll just vote out these biologicals, go back to the chemicals, and that's it. But with the global warming and this high temperature coming to Europe, this resistance will become more and more pressing here as well, and we will need anyway new solutions, and biological solutions will be, I think, an important part of that anyway. Whether the regulatory agencies or even consumers, whether we like that as consumers or not, we will need to go that way.
Okay, thank you. One last question. We have time for one more. No? All good? All right, then I'm left to thank very much our panel, Andrea, Gregor, Robin. Thank you so much for having shared your insights. Thank you.